Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Kurt on Cougs. Today a pregame warm-up for BYU versus UCF, and as you might see, we are coming to you live from the site itself, Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Got that in the background, actually standing right next to the track facility right here, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, big game for the Cougs today as they take on the UCF Knights. Little context though, last night Arizona beat ASU, and with that win, both BYU and Texas Tech clinched playoff spots. So both teams will be playing in that game next week. That game will be huge, awesome, but of course can't overlook UCF. And here's a few reasons for that. While UCF has not been too good, this is a team that likes to get into defensive slugfests. Like we saw last week against Oklahoma State. They gave up 14 points in the first half against Oklahoma State and then allowed nothing at all in the second half as they made their comeback victory, 17-14. So UCF definitely does not want this game to be a high-flying offensive affair. So gotta be careful out there. Also, they got a lot of speed on offense. This is a team that can break off big plays. We saw that last week as they broke off an 83-yard touchdown pass, I believe, to one of their tight ends. Gotta watch out for that. And Cougars, in the meantime, are playing for their first 11-win regular season since 2001. So big deal there. Exciting stuff. Top 15 team playing at home. Just like all the hype in the world for this one. And sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. So once again, huge game for the Cougs, playing at home against the Knights. Senior day for a lot of great seniors, guys like Carson Ryan, Chase Roberts, Jack Kelly. So ultimately, also as well, a lot of big games happening around the country. Lots of rivalry games, games like Ohio State, Ohio State and Michigan, Oregon, Washington. Also a lot of games that could potentially help BYU in their quest to make the playoffs, at least if they need an at-large spot. So definitely watching those games. But of course, this game right here, Cougars and Knights, definitely most important game of the day for BYU. And so here is my prediction and and everything else. So first of all, deciding factors for today's game. Like I talked about earlier, UCF has a lot of speed. They can break off some big plays. This is an offense BYU should dominate on the play-to-play status of the game. But the biggest threat they can pose is those big plays. So if BYU can keep them away from the big plays, just play good, consistent defense, I think they should be able to hold UCF to 10 or fewer points. So that's deciding factor number one. Containing on big plays. Number two, for me, has got to be, this is a UCF team that has a really good secondary. That is definitely the strength of their defense. They don't allow a lot of long bombs. So I feel like in this game, it's going to be really important to play well on the offensive line. The offensive line needs to dominate UCF's D-line, both to set up that run game. That's one place the Knights are susceptible. So go ahead, run it at them. And as well, with the secondary that good, oftentimes Bear's going to have to be a little patient in the pocket, so giving him time will also be big for that. And last but not least, I'm going to say is getting off to a fast start. Slow starts we've seen have been BYU's kryptonite, especially in games like this. So got to go out there, got to go a quick start. If the Cougars do that, I'm confident they will come out with a victory today. My bold prediction for today's game is that the Cougars are going to have 500 plus yards of total offense, even against a tough UCF defense. I feel like they're going to do great out there. Even when, in my prediction, I think a lot of the backups are going to get some good time as the Cougars get a comfortable lead and then rest some of the starters for next week's big game against Texas Tech. So I am calling a BYU victory by a final score of 38-10. Go Cougs. I'll be back for a post-game cooldown and might also put out a few shorts of clips from inside the stadium. So let's go Cougs.